Since Spacies is powered by the Ministry of Retro Gaming. 2018 Year in Review.
Since Spacies.
G'day invaders, welcome to Since Spacies, and this is a look back at 2018. Now I hope you guys had an awesome New Year's and an awesome Christmas, and this video is rather late. Kind of like Guru Larry Jr. putting out a Christmas special message in the early January. Love your work, Guru Larry. But anyway, I just wanted to take a look back at all the events at 2018. This is not going to be an overly long video, but I think it's more of a celebration of the fact that my channel's in a much better place now than it was at the beginning of last year. So yeah, to begin, I'm going to need to look back at the top 10 videos for the whole year 2018. So let's get on with it. Video number 10. So the 10th most watched video for 2018 was my unboxing video of a Mega Drive clone. We'll call it a retro clone. It was released, what do you want? Oh, what? So it was this device here, and I picked this up when I was in Japan. And I knew that I was onto something odd and unusual because I had not seen this being unboxed on YouTube beforehand. And it turned out that my video was the first on YouTube to feature this very device. So yeah, that came in at number 10. Coming in at number 9 on the most watched for 2018 was my Yes, Another Bloody Gaming podcast. And this one was number 14, I believe. And I think this one was the very last podcast, which then became the Since Spacies show. And this one featured the Gaming Muso, Trista Bites, and G to the Next Level. And it's always good when one of these videos gets up and gets in the top 10, because I do put a lot of effort into getting everyone together involved in these podcasts and getting them together. And now the podcasts are a little more special. They're not a podcast anymore, they're a show. And I get you involved, where I get you guys out there to send in the questions rather than it be all about me. So I throw the spotlight on 10 randoms or 10 people who decide to send their video questions in. And I think that that's made the Since Spacies show a much more random event. And I look forward to it every month, and that's a reminder to anyone that's out there watching right now. Don't be afraid to get a video, a question, no more than a minute, has to be in landscape, and send it in to me. You can either get it sent to me direct message on Twitter or email it. Do it, whatever it takes, or just message me to say, hey, I've got a video, where would you like it to be sent? And if you're in the top 10 videos for that month, questions that is, I'll feature you on the next episode of the Since Spacies show. And coming in at number 8 was the very first episode of the Since Spacies show. And I had a lot of fun putting this one together. I tried to change and mix up the format. And again, having you guys send in your questions into the channel rather than me having to come up with them, I thought just made it that little more random and a little more interesting, I thought. And the guests have appreciated it, and I think that the end product ends up being a lot better. So yeah, coming in at number 8 was the very first episode of the Since Spacies show. Coming in at number 7 for the most watched video on my channel for the whole of 2018 was the Yes, Another Bloody Gaming podcast, except this one was an all Sega special starring none other than DJ Slopes. We also had Tim Gadler, who used to work with me on the Sega hotline, Lizzie the Hedgehog, and we also had the legendary Al Nilsson, who was there to talk about not only his time at being in that awesome job at Sega of America back in the console wars era, but he was also talking about his time spent with Michael Jackson, which I was not expecting. I was trying to wrap up the podcast because I didn't want to keep DJ Slopes here up any longer, because it was like 2 a.m. in the morning for him. And that's when Al Nielsen said, "Are you guys sure you want to wrap this up? Because I've got so much more to talk about." I thought, well, I'm not going to stop him. So he spent the next half hour talking about his time spent with Michael Jackson. And it was just such an awesome, awesome video. And I was so glad to be a part of it. My first time hosting some big name entities on my channel. And I hope to do it again sometime with some bigger name stars or guest stars on the channel one day. It was a really cool learning experience. So if you haven't already watched this video, get on that, because there's some really cool moments in that video. The number 6 most watched video for 2018 was the very first game room tour. I had just got these shelves put up here for the first time. There used to be a bed here. I got rid of that and I got these shelves put up. I've got all my games now up in front of me, and I was so excited. I thought, yep, I've got to do a video on this. And it turns out that you guys are sticky beaks and you just love to have a look at other people's collections. I can't blame you, because I do the same myself. So I had a lot of fun putting this one together. I will be doing a game room tour once every year. I just got to get around to filming the next one. That will be coming up very shortly here on Since Spacies. Number 5 on the most watched videos of my channel for 2018 was my look at the Boita Street. Now, what the hell is the Boita Street? Well, anyone that knows me knows I'm a huge Sega fanboy, and Shenmue was one of the biggest Sega releases of all time. Although it was commercially a failure, from an artistic point of view and critical acclaimed point of view, that game really ticked all the boxes, and it was set in a real life location. And I ended up getting to visit the very street that it was set in, the Boita Street, Japan, in Yokohama, Yokosuka to be exact. And it was like a pilgrimage. Now, I'm not a very religious person, but this was as close as I'm going to get to visiting some kind of a major landmark for me as a Sega fanboy. And I was just so glad to finally get the chance to visit this landmark. I hope to revisit it one day with a better camera and do a better video. And now, I mean, you got to think about it. When I was visiting this, Shenmue 3 hadn't even been announced. So yeah, this was big. I can imagine that there's a lot of people going there now that Shenmue's becoming more talked about. But yeah, number 5, Shenmue real life location visit. I just had a lot of fun putting that video together. Number 4 on the channel for the most watched in 2018 was this bit of a strange one. It's my look at the Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection. I simply asked the question, is this the best retro game of compilation of all time? And I wasn't trying to be clickbaity. That was just an honest, genuine question. And I actually do think that this is the best compilation package that's ever been put out by any company. And you can comment down below if you can think of a better example. But this was an awesome release, and in fact I think this one's even better than the more recent Xbox One and PlayStation 4 and now Switch release. This one, as you can see, had interviews with some of the former Sega staff members from the day. That's something that you didn't get with the latest version, and there was just a couple of other nice little neat touches that was in this version that was not in the latest release. So if you haven't already watched it, Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection, this is the very first video that I did in this series. I'm still doing it 2 years later to this day. I'm almost finished. Number 3, now we're getting into the big guns. This is one of the most successful videos that I've ever put out, and this is number 3, of course, on my most watched for 2018. It was my unboxing of the Sonic Mania Plus, the Japanese version, and the reason why it got such a huge response was because I was one of the first to get on YouTube with this video. As soon as it arrived, I started setting up the cameras and got recording, and Nintendo Life caught wind of the fact that I had put this video out, and they put up an article to show that, hey, this is what it looks like, and they put a direct link to my channel. And the next thing you know, there's a lot of views coming in. So big thank you to Nintendo Life for getting that on your channel. It really does help the smaller channels like me when you do put links to channels like myself. But yeah, I was just super excited, fanboying out, and it's such a great release. I still play it. Still got to get the local release. I never did end up getting that in the end, but one day. The second most watched video on my channel for 2018 was a follow-up video that I put after finding the Sonic and Sally statues out west here in Sydney from Sydney's failed Sega World. And this was basically a little bit of a follow-up to explain what was happening. And this got a lot of views. So this was put out after I had appeared on IGN front cover, and it got quite a good response. It was also the first time that I had done a few things with a video on my channel, and it paid off. It was the first time I used a mic, I think. No, that was the other video. Anyway, I was just mixing up things and changing camera angles and doing a few more neat little tricks with the video editing, and I think that just added to it. It was the subject matter that really helped though, finding those statues. But having this video on my channel, I think kind of put me on the map for a lot of you followers. So I'll give you a bit of an update on what's happening with this, but first we're going to go to the #1 video on my channel. I think you guys already know what it is. So the #1 video, well, before I tell you what it is, and as I said, I think you guys already know. Every now and again, if you're running a channel, you will come across some bit of news, or you'll get a bit of a lead on something that's happening. And if you are running a YouTube channel and you get wind of something big happening, don't hesitate, just grab a camera and run to that event or that incident, whatever it is, and get on it straight away, because that's what happened here. So the #1 video is the finding the Sonic and Sally statues from Sega World out west in a junkyard. And I went out there the very next day after I found out about this, and if I had not have done that, I don't think this video would have blown up the way it did. So what had happened was, I was editing a video, I found out that there were these statues that were left abandoned out in a junkyard, and as soon as I found out where they were from, which is Sydney's Sega World that was operating back in 97 to 2000, I hopped straight onto it. I drove an hour and a half out west here in Sydney, and I tried to get on that. And this video ended up getting picked up by IGN, Kotaku, and a whole heap of other channels that didn't even bother to approach me. But those two channels did approach me and ask me questions. And it was IGN in particular, though, that were the most interested in this. And Lucy, if you're watching, or if you ever do get to watch this video, which I doubt because you're a very busy lady, I can't thank you enough. This really woke my channel up, and the ironic thing was that as this news was breaking, I had just passed 1,000 subscribers, so everything was all happening at once. And so just to wrap up and to move away from that depressing topic of those two statues, the more I think about it, the more angry I get. I was just going to say a couple of stats in relation to 2018. I picked up 1,000 subscribers. Yay me. I hope to get to 10,000. That's my next goal. So here's to 10,000 subs. Also, we managed to get 1,000 comments. I hope to double that. I want you guys to get more involved with the comments. I will always respond to the comments. So please get busy down there. Comment away. It helps the channel in other ways than you probably think. The algorithm is very important, and comments are a very important part of that. So please get on to commenting whenever you can. In 2018, I had 168,000 minutes of watch time. Awesome. Also, another milestone was that I joined the Ministry of Retro Gaming. That was not even a thing for me in 2017. I approached the ministry, and I'm the first and still only non-UK member. And we've now got 9 members. It's like doctors now. I think I was doctor number 5. Can't remember. No, doctor 6. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, so yeah, I joined the Ministry of Retro Gaming. Also, I joined Retro Unlim, which is another group of bigger channels such as Guru Larry Jr. and also DJ Slope, to name a couple. Yeah, and also another milestone, I made the cover of IGN. I don't know if I'm ever going to top that. I don't know what you can do to get back on the cover as a main article on the biggest gaming website in the world. Yeah, I don't know where you go from there. But the weird thing is, I actually picked up more subscribers thanks to Top Hat Gaming Man. So big thank you to Top Hat Gaming Man. But I got more subscribers from him than I did from the IGN front page article. I don't get it. I think the article that they did put on me didn't really have a big link. It was just a small little link to my channel, and that was it. I also featured on Kotaku, and that was also from the Sonic and Sally Statues articles, and also I featured on Nintendo Life for the Sonic Mania unboxing. So you know, overall I think I had a pretty good year. I hope to continue it. What I do have planned for 2019, just some more of the same really. I will continue with my Gaming Since Spacies series. I just got to get around to doing that. The Since Spacies show will gain momentum. I hope to have bigger and bigger guests all the time on that. And I just want any suggestions that you've got for me to put on the channel. I've got a stack of magazines from my gaming past, my magazine writing past. I'll be doing videos on them, flashbacks on the Megazone magazine and Hyper magazine. Yeah, so there's a lot happening here on Since Spacies. I hope to continue through to 2019 and beyond. Please, if you haven't already done so, leave a like, subscribe, comment, all the usual good stuff, and share my videos. Please share them. I really hope to double my subscription numbers, or my viewing time numbers in 2019. So yeah, until later, my name has been Brian, and I've been gaming since Spacies. Thanks guys.
Since Spacies.